positive materials and learn so much. All we're saying is desist from speaking destructive words and go over to speaking constructive words and keep at it. Keep at it.
Okay, so coincidentally, I was reading the book 5 Love Languages for Children, and I'm supposed to review chapter 3 in a group I belong to and all that. And chapter 3 is about words of affirmation. Okay. So, and there was one story that they wrote there. In fact, there are about two stories in that particular chapter that stood out for me. And based on what you said about your son, telling him, oh, you're so fine, you're so, we will not realize how much that goes into the child. So one of the stories said that there's a certain girl, every time her mom is combing her red hair, she will always tell her how beautiful her hair is, how wonderful, how her hair is unique and everything. She said with time, she grew up and realized that those with red hair are a minority. So you're somehow seen as not, do you understand? But she said she never felt somehow about her hair because of, based on all the words that her mom over time have told her about her hair. So that goes to show you that as a mother, it's your, as a parent, not just mother, but especially as a mother, it is your responsibility to build up your child's self-esteem. Nobody will do that for you. So what you don't understand is with your spoken words, you can either build or destroy your child's self-esteem, depending on the choice of words you choose to have. And another one was about a teacher. She gave her pupils papers that they should write each of their classmates' name, everybody's name in the class, and they should leave a space in between, then write something nice about each of the classmates. So she took that assignment home, then got a separate sheet for each of the students, then wrote out what every classmate said about that particular student in the paper. So more like a paper like this. Each student had their name. Then she wrote out what all your classmates said about you on a paper and handed it out to them. And they were so small then. So until finally they grew, of course, they separated ways and all that. And one of them was in the army and finally died. And the classmates and the teachers had to go for the burial. So while after the burial, the father of the boy that of the guy that died said, I want to show you something. So he took all of them inside and brought out from the guy's wallet and brought out that paper that the teacher gave him many years ago that he was carrying it around till he died. That's to show you the power of encouraging words. And that was where all of them started confessing that some of them were with their own, even as they were in the burial there, the paper in their wallets. Because imagine reading what about, let's assume there are 20 pupils. So imagine reading what 19, as in only good things, what 19 people said about you. As in just try to imagine the feeling is going to give and all that. So that teacher might not know. But for those children, she sets a lot of them up for life because there are days when you're discouraged. There are days when you need that encouragement. So if they're not getting it from people around them, they can easily pull out that paper and read all the wonderful things their classmates wrote about them. And of course, they get fueled up. And they get fueled up and do that. You know, I also told myself recently, like my children, they have email addresses. But of course, children, I'm still in control. So I told myself that maybe what I'll be doing every birthday, I'll write a letter. And send to their email.
This one. I'm taking this one.
And send to their email. So that when they get to 18, when I officially hand over the email to them, they would now go back and see all those letters as they were growing up. And now imagine all the things they will read about. Of course, I'm going to be intentional about the choice of words in writing the letter. And they read all those things. So in their adult life, when they are discouraged or something, they can easily go back to, oh, this letter mommy wrote at some point in time. Do you understand? And they get strength for that. So those are the kind of things that we as parents can do for our children. You will not know how much, but you know, words of affirmation, the impact can last for a lifetime. Just like that story with the teacher and the children. So as much as you can, if you do not know what to say, then just shush.
Thank you so much. If you do not know what to say, mommy, hold it. All right, we'll be right back and I'll share a personal experience as well. Please don't go away.
As we enter a new week, we are looking forward to fresh beginnings, new events, and unforgettable experiences. Our dedicated team at Digits 1024 Solutions is working hard behind the scenes, making sure that every sound, every beat, and every moment is set to be extraordinary. Every piece is being carefully checked expertly cleaned and thoroughly tested to guarantee quality sound, from microphones to mixing consoles, amplifiers to speakers. Everything is being given a thorough check to ensure top performance with no compromises. Our commitment to you, our valued clients, is unwavering. Whether it's a corporate event, a grand celebration, or an intimate gathering, we are making sure your stories are told with precision and clarity. Behind every vibrant sound is a team making sure every moment in the spotlight is perfectly amplified. When your moment arrives, our precision and passion are there to ensure every sound, every note, and every voice is unmistakably heard, felt, and treasured. Welcome to a world of live sound, brilliance, and unforgettable moments. Welcome to Digit 1024 Solutions, where every beat counts.
Okay, welcome back. So that was our sponsors, Digit Solutions. Of course, for your live sound, for your equipment rentals, for your live streaming services, Digit Sound is the best bet. And of course, we are live here because we have a sponsor like them. So shout out to Digit 1024 Solutions. We're grateful. Zoe and I are saying thank you.
Thank you so much once again, Digit Sound Solutions. I said that when we return, I'll be sharing a personal story. Brief. Okay, so I grew up being a very sickly child, right?
Okay.
Sick in the sense that I don't know, it just always almost always happens. And then I also had these skin reactions that left spots. So I recall that I think I know I was less than 8, less than 7 perhaps, but enough for me to remember. I remember one day going to church. My grandma was visiting a church with me. And you know how these long benches. And I went to sit where children were sitting, and everybody got up and left because I had stains. And I cried. And I went to my grandma, and she said to me, "They are running away from you now, but one day people will run to you." He never left. I still remember it. So my grandma was someone that my maternal grandmother in blessed memory was very deliberate about what she told me. She made me realize that I may be sick, but I'm alive. I'm a miracle. Every time I went to the hospital, sometimes it would be so, there were some kind of illnesses that I felt like I was seeing somebody, these hallucinations. And then one time, a doctor had told her that I had gone cold, but I just kept on surviving. And then she would just tell me that there's something to me. And so she was very particular about focus. There's who you are. There's somewhere you're going. There's a person that you are. And it helped build me. So to be honest, I'm very clear-minded about my person. I'm very clear-minded about who I am. So yes, my maternal grandmother, your child might not have a maternal grandmother. Your child might not have, and then I was also blessed. I have been blessed with such amazing teachers from church, from school, to the university. My lecturer, my supervisor was amazing. Dr. Nurain Fola Alimi from the University of Lagos. He would say to me, "Zoe, he just had these words." There was Dr. Itekim Rex who would tell me about Toastmasters and tell me, "You have it, it's in you." So there were people. But how about being the first person for your child? So that when your child is leaving you, at a point they have to leave home. When they are leaving you, they are leaving with virtues. Remember, our focus is raising the next set of African leaders. We have in Africa a sad narrative, which is that the persons at the end of affairs, fundamentally, quite a number of them, not all, because it would be wrong to smear all of them with the same paintbrush, but quite a number of them have failed us in the sense that they have not upheld values that have kept the continent in good light. But this is the time. The moment you pushed forth a child, you have the chance to create a new narrative. So you be the one to tell your child that we don't steal. Return that toy. It's a tiny toy. Don't say, who gave you? Chisom, did she give you? No. Where did you get it from? I just took it. And then she holds it. No. Take it back. Go with her. I'm so sorry that Idausa took your toy. We are sorry. We won't do that again. Idausa, return it and tell Chisom you are sorry. That's what have you taught your child? Do not take things that do not belong to you. That's also the vision behind John on My Journey to Motherhood. The idea of Journey My Journey to Motherhood is mothers that birth their children know the exact narrative of their children from conception to birth. So you are preserving that story so that your child understands that I am uniquely different. I might have 5 children, but each of you are different. The story behind your birth, the experience, even to your childbirth, your coming forth is different. So you are different. And then because you are also there for your child, you are more there for your child than their teacher. When you tell your child that this is how we behave, even when they get to school and they are taught otherwise, and children coming with all kinds of vices, your child can stand firm. So eyes on the goal. So Chisom, something else I want us to touch on quickly is, do you really think, no, first of all, I want you to introduce your sons to us without their names. Tell us who you are raising, at least from what you know now. Of course, we know in parts because we don't know the far future. So introduce your first son, introduce him to us in few words. The character, the person, the strong points. So introduce him, and then your first 3 sons, and I'll also do the same. Then please comment, introduce your children to us on the comment section, telling us who you are raising. Let's begin to know our future leaders.
Okay. Okay. So I've not really thought about that. But I think for my first son, he's more of the sensitive one.
So I am
you
introducing,
understand?
please, he's a keynote speaker. He's a keynote speaker. Thank you.
He's that very artistic person. That person that wants to know why is this, and he loves to know about animals. He's this screen when different pictures are showing, where you put a slideshow on your laptop screen, and it brings, so every time a new animal comes up, he's like, what's the name of the bird? I'm like, how will I know? These are very non-conventional that you've never seen or something. And the funniest thing, he will tell me, Google it. That's the next thing you will hear.
Yeah.
He will tell me, Google it. And for every time I tell him that, he will go and write it down.
Okay.
He will go and write it down. So one day, I just wanted to be sure I'm not doing an exercise in fertility. So I asked him, so that bird the other day, what's the name? And he told me it's cinnamon.
Wow, he remembered. He's interested.
He remembered. So he told me cinnamon, something, Bedchester, something. But it was about 3 names, and he remembered.
Wow.
And he remembered the names. And he told me recently, he said, teach me how to design on Canva. 7 years old.
Wow. Please do. Mommy, teach us.
And I just think he's the one that is very handy.
Okay.
Amongst my children. He's very, very handy. Okay. Because there was one day he did something, he changed the icon, he made it bigger on my system. And his father was watching. His father said he wanted to get angry. Like, why are you oppressing? But he said he just told him, take it back to the way it was. In less than 5 seconds, he did it.
Wow. You did not go and appear for master class.
He said he now had to take a step back. As in, he now had to refrain the anger, and I say, okay, so he's just exploring.
Yeah.
And so he's more of the explorer. Okay. He wants to know new things. He wants to know. Then my second son is the Mr. Talker. I think he's the public speaker I have in my house.
Okay.
And he's the logic one. As in, he's the daring one. He's the one that you can't just tell do this. He wants to know why should he do this. So he's more of the daring one. He's more of the talker in the family.
Okay.
So, and he's more of the soft life king. Anything stress, please count him out. He does not like stress and all that. Then I think also my third son, he's more of this. He's a kingly person. Like, he likes to exercise his authority when he's there.
And he's the third.
And he's the third. So and I like him for the fact that you can't easily intimidate him. Despite how little he is. So he will always stand his ground. So he's someone that he has that when you say authority thing and all that. And he's also he takes initiative a lot.
Wow.
He takes initiative. So he's the child that when he sees you doing something, he knows, like, let's say for example, okay, you're sweeping and you're with the broom. You don't need to tell him go and get the dustpan.
Wow.
By default, he will go and get the dustpan because he knows you
need it, and so I meet the need.
So he's more of the one that takes initiative and all that. So I think that's really the major traits that I've
Okay.
really noticed.
Okay.
So maybe now I'll pay more attention. Now
Yes,
that you have
please.
put me on the
Yes,
spotlight.
please do. So you know, while I was listening to you, Chisom, you have said strong points. Your first child, you have told us about his artistic nature. You have said something else about his inquisitiveness. You know, his inquisitiveness. Your second son. So and then he by himself he has told you, Mommy introduced me to Canva. Canva is a designing app. So you know, let's not delve into that because it's a discussion for another day. And you have mentioned about your second son and his knack for speaking, you know, and his enjoyment of soft life and all of that. And your third son taking initiative and loving authority or exerting authority. And that's really awesome. So in future episodes, we'll have to now think about how do we harness these strong points? How do we begin to position them? These are matters that we should begin to pay close attention to. We should pay detailed attention to these things. It's our job. It's our call. It's our brief. Okay, so my first son he's a talker. Oh, and he loves music. Oh my God. So he listens to the sound of generator sound, and makes music from it. So when the gen is going, you say gung 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 gung. So we add sound to the generator. One day we were going by a car. I don't know how, you know how people can be very impatient in traffic in Nigeria, and then the man was going gung 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 gung, and my son was doing. I'm like, well, this is awesome. So we have to make this run. So he's musical, he's a talker. Oh, and he's very sensitive. Okay, so in the sense that particularly family, he's a family person. So if for any reason you have to hug him, maybe he has done something good, he goes and just daddy, and then he goes and look for his brother. Hey, Rosa, come. So it has to be a complete family hug. So those are his strengths. Then my second son is the intellectual. So he's left-handed. I was concerned about teaching him how to write, but the boy learned to write by watching the screen. So I was very amazed when he started. Of course, he started by writing his numbers lying down. So his one was sleeping, two was sleeping, three, all the numbers were having siesta, but he was writing nonetheless. Yeah. So he started by that's him. And then you don't have to be teaching him directly for him to learn. Once he starts hearing anything that sounds like knowledge, he's paying attention and he has gotten it. The next time he hears it anytime, he produces it like you taught him. And then of course, it's like your last son. That man is a person of his own. So in fact, when he comes into a place, he'll tell you that he's here. So he has arrived, that kind of a thing. So I said that so that we can begin to understand that we are not just raising little selves, mini-me's. I like, it's nice. It's nice to have a mini-me, especially if you have daughters. Sorry about that. You don't have a you know, so you know, it's really nice when you have a mini-me and you dress up together. It's cute. Those are the cute parts. But the part where you roll up the sleeve is where you understand that these are individuals. They are children today, but they're not going to keep being children. They're going to be adults. What kind of fathers are they going to be? What kind of mothers are they going to be? They're going to be at helms of affairs. What kind of leadership are they going to exert? So our discussion today has been on the impact of words and how we can be deliberate to frame up our children to be the kinds of leaders that Africa needs in the near future. Our immediate focus is the year 2050. By the year 2050, that's another 24 years from now. You know, add that to our children. 26 years, pardon me. Another 26 years from now, add that to the current age of your child. And imagine what kind of a child that child would be. So let's not leave anything to chance. It's a wake-up call. Enough of crying over spilled milk. We might not be very proud of some of the identity that our continent has, but we are no longer sitting down. And what we're doing now is we're rising up and we're saying that the children that we have authority over now, we are deliberately raising them to be the kind of leaders in Africa that we are proud of. Okay, so final words before we give our catch. So we have a giveaway, but you have to answer a question. Should I give the giveaway, then we'll give our final words? Okay, so please head on to the comment section and respond. It's a simple question, and we are going to tell you what the catch is shortly. So what country is famous? So tell us the country and the capital. This country is famous as the Pearl of Africa and hospitable to visitors. The country is the Pearl of Africa and hospitable to visitors. It is also the home to Africa's Big Fives. It's the home to Africa's Big Fives. And the big fives are lions, leopards, rhinos, buffaloes, and elephants. What country is the what country is the home to Africa's big fives? What country in the continent of Africa is the home to lions, leopards, rhinos, buffaloes, and elephants? Please comment your answer correctly, the name of the country, and the capital of the country.
Okay.
We'll be waiting.
Yeah. So, of course, it's been a very wonderful time with Zoe here, and of course, I'm sure our viewers who have been watching. And remember, like we say, we're not just going to be bemoaning uh, we're not going to be bemoaning issues. We are going to take deliberate steps at making sure that Africa becomes the giant that it is supposed to be. In fact, we are not saying giant as in giant of the continent, We know that we have a gold mine. Yes, we might not have been, mining it as well as we should, but we're saying that it's time for us to do something about it rather than keep whining and complaining. And part of the ways we can do that is by raising wholesome children, raising children who are poised to take the leadership reins in the next future to take Africa to the greater heights that it is meant to be at.
Thank you so much, Chisom. The moment you birthed a child as an African mother, especially a young African mother, you earned a chance and an opportunity to affect a change in the African future. That little baby in your arms right now, that little boy, that little girl, is your opportunity to change the narrative. So one step we have started to take is the first baby step of creating our words. From the womb, tell them who they are. From the womb, instruct them and tell them what you expect of them. When you correct them, tell them the right words. Tell them what you expect of them. Tell them who they are. And do not forget to compliment them. When they make efforts, however tiny, commend it, mention it, speak about it. Define your family, define your values, and let them know that you believe in them. Once again, the question is, what country in the continent of Africa is the pearl of Africa and hospitable to visitors? What country, that same country, is the home to Africa's big fives? Fives being lions, leopards, rhinoceros, buffaloes, and elephants. Please comment in the name of this country and the capital.
Yeah. So okay, so I guess that's a wrap on today's show. Of course, and like we say on A.R.A.L Show, tell the world that Africa is coming. I still remain Sommie, and this is
Zoe.
So till we come your way again next time, stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Of course, we'll still be going through the comments. At whatever point in time you get to watch this, leave a comment for us. Tell us something you would want us to talk about on the show, or what you think about today's topic. And we'd love to read for you. Subscribe and visit on all social media platforms.